Hi everyone. So I welcome you all on this podcast series from AtmosSecure named as SecureTalks. I am Sudipta, the marketing head of EPC division of Network Tech Lab and AtmosSecure. And I welcome you all for this entire series where we are going to talk about the cyber threats, the cyber security, SOC with our subject matter experts. Today we have Mr. Atul Gosar. He is the founder, he is the director of Network Tech Lab and AtmosSecure, and he is also CISA from ISACA. I welcome you, sir, over here on the talks of SecureTalks, and let's discuss about how SOC can help BFSI and what is the use of SOC in today's world in the BFSI industry.
Sure. Thanks, Sudipta, for having me here. Pleasure to be here. Sudipta, you're right. Absolutely. Today, if you know, this IT risk, cybersecurity is no more an IT risk. It has become a business risk. And as the more and more digitization happening in BFSI segment, more mobile applications coming in, the data is everywhere on cloud. They are adopting most of the private cloud and public cloud deployments. So, truly this has become an hybrid cloud strategy for all the banking customers and financial institute customers. So, data is everywhere. The risk of losing the data to the bad actors has increased. The importance of data is much for this segment in terms of, they are carrying information, very sensitive information like, customers' credentials, customer financial data. There are regularly compliances on them to, make sure that this data is prevented well. Looking at all this risk, importance of security operation centers has become largely very much relevant for them. Certainly, most of the time, institutions have been regulated by RBI's or SEBI or IRDAI, depending on where they are placed. And with the stringent policies of these regulators, it becomes extremely important for BFSI customers to be well up to date in terms of compliances, audits, and governance. Monitoring constantly these threats and making sure that the records are kept becomes the very much important for them. So in today's world, to give you a nutshell, the importance of SOC is extremely important, and we see every customers has invested heavily into security operation centers.
So how will you compare it like from today's, since 5 years ago, how SOC has tremendously changed that entire scenario from in last 5 years?
So many things have improved over the last 5 years. If you look at a traditional SOC, which was more on rule-based filtering, where you create the rules in the systems where if certain alerts or certain logs you see, and you try to create the rule-based alert systems. But today's SOCs are more AI and ML driven. A lot of correlations can happen through, these are the latest technologies of artificial intelligence, and so most of the things like are automated and are more powerful, and only relevant, more meaningful, more sensitive alerts and the incidents are been reported back to the security analyst. So that importance of AI ML has actually helped the customers to navigate this against the bad actors, since all these bad actors are using AI ML for years now, and their attacks are more sophisticated, more autonomous. You need something at the customer place which is again more powerful than what they use. So use of AI and ML has really helped. So this next generation SOCs are on that, based on AI technologies which are more powerful, more autonomous, and I would say more comprehensive.
So your AI play a major role, you mean to say?
Yes, certainly.
Okay. In continuation to that, let's go on the strategic role of SOC. How does this SOC is helping the BFSI to tackle the cybersecurity threats?
Yeah. So Sudipta, if you look at BFSI, they run a lot of critical infrastructure because they handle the customer financial data. Most of these critical infrastructures need to be protected well. And for BFSI customers, cyber resilience is the thing which they want to, make sure that it is in place. There are two aspects to cyber resilience. One is protect. So, how do they create a sort of, cyber hygiene so that, the information assets are protected. The another aspect is to recover in case there are issues or, there are incidents where, cyber attacks has happened, how do they recover fast. So, focusing more on first, which is more of a protect. Security operation centers actually helps them in terms of, monitoring 24/7 the events what are coming out of all cyber hygiene devices like firewalls, or, they have a cloud security or endpoint devices or any sort of security hygiene protections what they have framed up. How do you correlate it and then try to create something meaning out of it, where, if there are incidents where those alerts are triggering to a sort of actions to be taken to protect some assets in terms of, mitigating or, isolating those assets which are creating the attacks, or helping the cyber attackers to, take a control of it. So over a nutshell, it's actually sort of real time monitors the alerts, incidents, and reports back to the best experts, the security expert, to make sure that the whole infrastructure is well protected.
So in a nutshell, we can say that it's actually very much essential for BFSI nowadays. Like SOC is very much essential for protecting the entire industry from the cyber threats.
Absolutely.
Now let's switch to the core theme of this entire talk, which is compliance and regulations. So what do you think, sir? Like, what are the key major compliance and regulatory mandates that the entire BFSI segment should follow in India and globally?
See, BFSI is highly regulated segment. So if you look at in India, the banks are getting regulated by RBI, and the major compliance there is cybersecurity framework of an RBI, which banks has to comply. While all stockbrokers in India has to comply with CSCRF, and insurance companies has to comply with IRDAI cybersecurity framework. And there are absolutely new global standards which are ISO 27001 or PCI DSS for making sure that your identity data are not disclosed, and GDPR for some of the BFSI who are globally present in Europe or UK. So those BFSI who has an international operation has to comply to the international regulation as well. Each of these frameworks demands things like incident reporting, protection, and continuous monitoring. They have to keep the audit trails and audit logs, which has to be presented to the regulators whenever they are asked for. What SOCs helps them is to maintain those logs properly, and also helps them giving the reports back whenever the auditor demands. It makes life easy for all security professionals within the organization, so that they can produce the logs and reports whenever they are being demanded.
Okay, so these are the compliance mandates that you feel like that should be followed all over India and across entire global scenario, right?
Yes.
Okay. Moving ahead with the series, so can you give us some examples how SOC can be used or can be helped in the audit preparedness and regulatory reporting?
Sure. So AtmosSecure SOC streamlines a lot of audit preparedness by maintaining the logs, incident records, and compliance reporting aligned to what the BFSI customer needs. The regulations like RBI, PCI DSS, during their audits, they really ask for a lot of evidence. And AtmosSecure maintains those evidence in a very proper framework. I've seen the customers. It is one of the top top 5 mutual fund of the India, where most of their time, their infosec team's time spent on giving the evidence to the auditors. So instead of actually putting a time to protect the environment, their time is getting utilized in maintaining the evidence and solving the queries of an auditor. Now here is where AtmosSecure SOCs helps to give a ready-made framework-based reporting and maintaining the evidence for the same. So making sure that the infosec team is more free to actually look at the incidents and mitigate those risks what the organization is facing, instead of 100% focusing on audits.
So they are getting more of a time for their internal things, and rather than investing more of a time for the looking into the threats and going with more deep.
Certainly, yeah.
So ऐसा कह सकते हैं ना that SOC is like a Shaktiman nowadays.
Yeah, you can tell that.
है ना? Yeah. In continuation, let's talk about how SOC is preventing and monitoring the threats. So the question is, in terms of real world threat, what kind of attacks are SOCs detecting and mitigating most often in BFSI?
The most often are like phishing and credential thefts. Then you have a ransomware attacks. Then you have any lateral movement happening within the infrastructure. So in nutshell, like AtmosSecure SOCs constantly analyze the telemetry coming from endpoints, from applications, from network, from a cloud instance if there are any, and cloud to spot the anomalies, and using the AI and behavioral analytics, it actually spots the threats before it escalates. So to give an example, like if there is a login attempt happening, the administrator is trying to log in. For an example, the organization is based out of Mumbai and admin is based out of Mumbai and is logging from in Mumbai. If the SOCs detects any login, the same logins happening from outside India within some stipulated time, so it detects as an anomaly and will escalate immediately. It will alert immediately to the SOC analyst, so the appropriate actions can be taken. So such any abnormal behaviors or any such patterns which are automatically analyzed using AI and can be escalated.
Okay, so we can see in terms of the entire threats and the cyber attacks, so SOC is working as a life jacket.
Yes, it is.
It is a
Suraksha Kavach.
Suraksha Kavach, yes. Yeah. So taking this ahead for the actions of SOC, we can see and we have seen like SOC is working as a protection, as a protector for all the organizations from the cyber threat. So ऐसे क्या हम ऐसे कह सकते हैं कि cyber threat के कुरुक्षेत्र में our AtmosSecure is working as a सारथी?
Yes, Sudipta, you well said on this. I can tell you the story of a customer where जहाँ वो रियल में कुरुक्षेत्र में थे, where they have been attacked by cyber attacks, and there was after having the best of the cyber hygiene in place, so all of the best of the breed solutions were deployed. Still they were clueless. They know what is happening in their network and what is happening with the customers. So I'm referring to our customers of maybe I think it's a top 5 stockbrokers within one of them, where customer was facing these challenges, and so by deploying the AtmosSecure SOC, we initially started with the critical devices and critical infrastructures. We started collecting the telemetry from their firewalls, networks, moving on to critical servers, their application servers, and then there were certain instances on cloud also. We collected clouds from there. Our central AI engine started correlating, and within maybe at sort of 2 to 3 days, we were able to identify what is going on the network with the help of AI and ML. So the point what I want to make is, AtmosSecure gives a complete visibility. In a couple of days, you get complete visibility. It's what is happening on the network, from where the malicious traffic is flowing, which are the points where one has to look at, analyst has to look at, and which are the points where need to prevent the things. So in a way, I will say the CISO or any security operational professionals within the organizations need this tool, or as you rightly said, a Sarthi, who can guide what is going wrong, what is going right, and where to take an action. So yeah, absolutely.
Jesse Krishna was foreseeing the entire Mahabharata happening. So similarly, AtmosSecure can also foresee the entire threats coming in and can protect the organizations from upcoming threats.
Yeah, so AtmosSecure is a Krishna.
Krishna, yes, like a Sarthi. Taking this entire talk ahead, the last segment as a closing note. So, sir, what advice would you like to give for the IT leaders, like the CISOs, the IT leaders of BFSI segment, BFSI industry, who are still not using SOC or maybe are not using, are still operating without a mature SOC?
I would say it is a time to take action. See, as you know, the cyber attacks are getting more and more sophisticated. AI used by bad actors, helping them to do a lot of autonomous attacks. And I mean, humanly, any CISO or any organizational leaders cannot solve these problems manually or without something which is more visible. So I think it's a need of our today, and to make the organizational informations well protected from these bad factors, one has to have another layer of security. You after deploying the best of the breed cyber hygiene solutions, you still need have a visibility what is going in your network. What is happening within your security devices, what sort of actions are taken there, what sort of threats are prevented there, and holistically one has to have a view, as I said, what is going on in the network. After having a view, after having a dashboard, what is going on, the next step is to understand those logs which every security device is throwing, and to get a sense out of it, which is more autonomous, which is more AI driven, which is more machine learning driven, so that you can real time prevent organizations from those attacks and the incidents what are going on. So in a nutshell, I would say AtmosSecure can bring a peace at a level where after spending the huge lot of money on cyber hygiene, you still need a clear visibility what is happening. That's where the AtmosSecure can come into the picture.
Yeah, so SOC is the need of an hour, and AtmosSecure is giving us to all the BFSI. Thank you, Atul sir, for this entire session and this insightful guidance on SOC. So we can see SOC is not just a threat protector. Yeah, it's a foundation. It's a requirement nowadays, and we all see nowadays that the SOC is the foundation of trust, compliance, and cyber resilience in BFSI. So entire series, the entire podcast talks is all about SOC and the AtmosSecure now. So I really thankful to you. I'm thanking you for the entire time that you have given for this session, and we are looking forward for many more sessions with you in future ahead. Yeah, thank you, sir. For everyone, like for our listeners, if you are looking out for any kind of AtmosSecure services or the offering, do visit us on our website, that is www.atmossecure.com, and book demo, which is free of cost. And definitely you can also be able to download the brochures from our website, the case studies which are being required for upcoming further references. Yeah, stay safe, stay secure, opt for AtmosSecure. Thank you so much.